Hello, I'm Jason. I work with Indicel, and this is Debugging in Space, how it was made. So first off, this is our product design document from the very beginning. We wanted to do a dungeon crawler type game, and the market right now is very full of medieval style, uh, sword and shield type dungeon crawlers. So kind of want to play around with a different theme and go with sci-fi. So Indicel worked on the enemy AI, which I'll show how it works right here. So the enemy attack circle is the red, and the enemy follow circle is the green. And the point of view is the green triangle right here. So as he moves the character, and then he adjusts the view angle, you can see that it locks on to the player and will follow him as long as he stays within the green circle. As soon as he moves into the red, that is when the player will start to attack and shoot bullets at you, which you can then deflect with the lightsaber to get in close and kill them. And so Anderson showed me his experience with real time to be able to add multiplayer into the game, and it came with its challenges, but in the end we were able to get it working. As you can see, there's one player right here. So now I'll go into a little bit about the dungeon architect asset that we used. So the way it works is it takes in a dungeon theme, which it has some built-in ones, example ones that you can base off of, but ultimately we found our own asset package to be able to use and created our own dungeon theme. And so you can see here that we have the different marker nodes, which you can see is highlighting the four, which will show you where things will render. And so these markers are what tells the dungeon where and what to put to render things. And so you can get pretty detailed with it, where you have the floor, and then you have your room decoration. So you have that's where we see the boxes and the test tubes. And then you only have to pass it the one prefab, and then it will anywhere it sees sliding door markers, it'll render the door. And so it's pretty useful for creating levels and large scale maps for your game, and it's pretty useful. Very cool to figure out and use. There's another thing that comes with the dungeon is the grid flow here. And so this allows you to be able to kind of control the layout and the flow of your dungeon. You start, with the grid size, and then you create your main path for your dungeon. You can make that a variable length here and everything. We have the start position is static, so every time the dungeon is built, it's going to be this point in the grid. And that's how we can have our starting objects here, the lightsabers and the terminal, the starting place, be the same every time, because the start room will build around this point every time. The goal will change and be random every time, the path as well. And then you can go on to create subpaths like this one. And you can either have it, go and connect back to the main path, or you can have it come out and stick out like a dead end, like so, the orange one here. And then you can also have it come from the main path and connect back to a subpath. And so you get this very nice maze complex going on. And then this is where you would spawn the enemy emitters. And this has a really cool built-in feature where you can set the difficulty to linear. And that way, from the start point to the goal point, the number of enemies per room will increase. As you can see, it goes from 2 all the way up to 5 enemies. And you can also change that maximum count. They do, however, as the AI built in, move around. So while they might start in these rooms, they definitely walk through the doors and travel to other rooms. And so you get this kind of spread out payoff of enemies. It then goes on to initialize the tile map, which this is what is actually used for the generating of the dungeon, and what the dungeon theme uses as to place all the objects based off what the markers say. And so you can see here that the rooms are all color coded the same as on the grid to show you what's what, and all the enemies are placed where they would be randomly be done. And so when you build, it builds it out, and then every time you press build, the layout will change. And so you get that nice random feel to it. The dungeon would be completely different. The whole layout, all the enemies will have respawned, and you can do it again. Some future things to do. There's a mini map capability built into Dungeon Architect that would be cool to add in like the bottom right hand corner. That way, any room that you walk into, it would reveal it, and so then it shows you where you've been. That way, it's easier to figure out like what rooms you've been, because they kind of all look the same, and it makes it difficult to find the goal. That would be a cool capability to add. And then also more diverse enemies, create some more types of enemies. That way you have some diverse combat experiences rather than just the same thing over and over again. As well as there's a key lock system that Dungeon Architect also has. That would be cool to use. That way you can, kind of make some puzzles to have the player find keys and unlock to be able to progress through the dungeon. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing what all you guys have. Thank you.